Hello and welcome back to another reaction. In this occasion, My Hero Academia, episode 5 of the third season. So yeah, last time we saw a very intense fight. It wasn't as spectacular as the previous fights. It wasn't just full of action, but it was very, very intense. I cannot find any other words to describe such fight. It was great. It was great in its own way. Tense and full of emotion, especially coming from the kid and from Midorya even. Because yes, Midorya has to pull out an incredible amount of power from himself. Yes, he has that capability. He has these energy and power within him. But of course, that amount of power can damage him. But in this moment, it didn't matter. Why? Because he was trying to protect a kid. He was trying to protect Kota. And I just simply love that emotional moment, that emotional reasoning behind that. Yes, I know I said it before, the emotion should not govern you. When Ida tried to attack Stain. But in this moment it was amazing. It was unbelievable because yes, this was a dire situation. It wasn't something pre-planned and I'm gonna beat this guy because I need to get revenge. No, it was emotional, but it was emotional because in that moment that's exactly what you needed. So that is the difference between those fights, even though both have very, very heavy emotions in them. And this is something I miss in the last video. That's why I mentioned it here, because yes, that is something I did not set in my last video. But anyway, yeah, I know you all just want to see me react, so yeah, let's cut all these and watch the 5th episode, shall we? What? They are after Bakugo! Oh, this changed everything! Oh! Okay, I'm gonna speak this at the end. Again, that emotional moment. His arm is completely destroyed. Oh, that arm. Holy. Oh yes, he said that. I never pay attention. I was paying attention to something else. Yes, you're right. Oh, this moment too, yes. Oh, that was... I don't think that's it. They cannot... Yes, thank you. Yes. Oh, yes. Aizen was a badass. Oh. Ow. Oh, that's it? What? What the hell is that? What? Okay, what the hell happened there? What? I'm completely confused right now. What? Ah, oh, this is so exciting! Oh, this is so great! Oh. Man, oh. Yes! He knows. Yes, he was abetted by him. What? Yes! Oh! He doesn't care about Shigaraki! Oh! Okay, this is great! Oh! Of course. Oh! What the hell? Oh, that boulder is. Oh. Idiot! He just tried to save you! Oh, again the bride! Holy... What the hell? Well, yes, I guess. Many of the Soul Calibur series. What? Ah, that is a blaster. Of course! Please tell me that he reinforced every single part. Because that is able. He is able to withstand such thing. He broke the freaking mask! This is actually, yeah, this is weird for this world. Oh! Oh, he started to break through! Okay, this guy is very dangerous. Oh, he can detect every single thing within the gas. That is amazing, actually. Oh, yes! She can expand! Yes! Oh! Yes! Of course, the way she can produce! This is brilliant! Yes! That is true! Oh! Yes! Come on, Tetsu! Yes! Oh, I love it! Oh! This is brilliant! Okay, one villain down. Oh god, I even breathe myself. What? What happened? Oh! It was his hand. Oh! So it was his hand. Oh, so that black hand that I saw, it's... Oh... Holy! Dark Shadow! That is Dark Shadow? Holy! Oh, come on! Okay. I'm gonna stop it right there. So, yes! We have now another different type of exciting scenes. A lot of information that I need to process before, of course, speaking. Of course, I'm gonna watch this again to see if I miss something other than by a very means, of course. So yeah, see you in a bit. Okay, I'm back. I just watched a second time the 5th episode of My Hero Academia. There are things that I didn't notice last time, but I'm gonna speak that when they come up in the episode. Okay, let's start from the beginning. We saw again that emotional moment of the battle in which Midorya, just because he wants to protect Kota, just released the incredible amount of power he has inside him. The 1 million percentage of power of One for All. I still cannot wrap my head around the fact that he can do that he can withstand that amount of energy without exploding, literally. Well, his arm exploding. But sure, in that moment it's just so dramatic and so beautiful because the emotions of that first moment came back. Last time, in the last episode, I watched it like 4 times. In total, 3 times after I stopped recording myself. And yes, it was very emotional, very intense. It was spectacular. And yes, this little recap captured part of it, because yes, it's not the same watching it after all that emotional moment, all that emotional build-up in the previous episode, because yes, that last moment was, of course, just the embodiment of everything that happened there, or it was prepared by everything that happened before it. So yes, not in the same level of impact, but still very emotional. Then, of course, we saw that Midoriya is completely beat up, especially his arm, his right arm. But still, he has the strength, and of course, Aizawa said it later, the endorphins he's, well, running through his body because of the emotion and the excitement and everything, prevents him from really feeling the pain that should be feeling in that moment. Because he's still excited, his body perceives that he's still in danger, and he's excited because he needs to survive. Anyway, yeah, they rescue Kota. Now, again starts to see Midoriya in another light. He is seeing him as the hero, as what a hero really is, not what he thought a hero was. He thought that there were people that show off power and get killed because they are just pretentious, or at least that's what I interpret of the words of Kota. But of course, now that he saw what a real hero looks like, in this case Midoriya, he sees them as something different. And this is the action that was I speaking in previous videos. Yes, they rescue, they use One for All, again, to move around and try to find Aizawa. But of course, we return a little bit on time, a few minutes before that, and we saw that Aizawa is being attacked by Dabi, or at least I thought it was Dabi. Of course, Aizawa is amazing in combat and just defeat him in seconds. Unfortunately, later on we discovered that he wasn't Dabi. My guess, and as far as I understand this, because it's not explained very clearly or completely clearly in the episode, is one of the villains, the one who is talking with Dabi, I think it does twice something. That villain was or is able to create clones. The one that seems to have two personalities in him. Because yes, one speaks in a kind of high-pitched voice and the other one is a very low voice. The high-pitched voice just belittles Dabi, said, "Oh, you're a small fry, you are not very strong." But the other one said, "No, you are very strong. You should be proud because perhaps the hero was way too strong." So yes, I see this double personality in there. And even the different in colors. I thought I saw blue and I saw red. Perhaps it's just in the ambience. I'm not entirely sure of that. But again, I think his quirk is to create clones. How many? I don't know. But that is my guess, because later on in the dialogue said, Dabi said, "Okay, create another one." So yeah, my guess is that create another Dabi, and so we can finish the job and learn something else. So yeah, that is my guess, and that is what happened. Aizawa just defeated a clone, not the real villain. We saw briefly, and of course before that, Midorya has to deliver a message to Mandalay, who can just transmit the message thanks to her telepathy. And before that scene, we saw that now Kota is sad because he wants to thank Midorya. He wants to say sorry because he punched him in the nuts. Yeah, I laughed a little bit in that moment. But yeah, the drama, the ambience in this little scene is a lot heavier. Then of course for my laugh, this was just a short laugh. I laugh now more because, well, yeah, the ambience is gone and I can speak freely now, and I think it's funny because just for a brief moment I remember that punch and of course Bakugo's face after that. But anyway, I'm just going in some other direction. Kota says, "Okay, I hope he's fine." Yes, and now we start to see the change in Kota. I love that. I love that. Not just words is that what change somebody. Actions is what change you. And yes, I love that fact because so far every single thing that Midorya has done is been through actions. He has been recognized through his actions, not through his words. Yes, when he speaks, he said, "Okay, he's just been dismissed." But when he took action, now that's when people start to recognize him. And a lot of people, and I mean, again, doing a recap, not exactly in the same level, let's say, but yeah, people start to recognize Bakugo, start to recognize Deku, because yes, after he was rescued, I remember this, he didn't bother him anymore in the school. Once he was rescued in episode 2, Ida. Again, Ida was kind of annoyed by Midorya. But after he rescued Ochako, he started to see him in another light. So yes, he changed to people because of his actions. Again, Ochako too, because he tried to rescue her and she tried to do the same in her own way. So yeah, there are 3 people who has been moved by Midoriya's action. Of course, let's not forget All Might. He was moved because he was trying to rescue, Midoriya was trying to rescue Bakugo back then, even if he doesn't have a quirk. So yes, And later on, we see that Todoroki was moved by Midoriya's action because yes, he was telling a lot, but he wasn't listening. Once he saw that he was being so beaten because he's trying to make him realize that he needs to use both of his sides because that is his power, as he himself said. So yeah, actions and actions and actions. Midoriya moves people by actions. Hell, even his enemies. His enemies are because he is dangerous. His actions make him dangerous. Shigaraki saw that when he tried to punch him in the incident in the school. So yes, his enemies, and of course then we later on, and this is my guess again, that the All for One actually is very worried by Midoriya. I don't think worried is the right word. Perhaps he's preoccupied, or his mind isn't partially with Midoriya because yes, he is the user of the All for One. Sorry, the One for All. Yes, kind of confusing them right now. But anyway, yes, going back to the episode. Yes, this was something that really caught my attention during this episode, and something that I haven't said before. That's why I use this platform to say it. But yeah, going back to the episode. Later on, we find out the complete message, that they discover that they are targeting a student, in this case, Bakugo. Of course, Aizawa doesn't know this. Aizawa believes that every single student is the target, thanks to what Dabi said, or the clone of Dabi said. And yes, again, all of these push him to the edge, because now he authorized that every single student can use their quirks to defend themselves, because he doesn't know who the target is. And Midoriya has more information, and this is something I should have noticed in the last episode, that Bakugo is the one they are after. Because I discovered now, thanks to the image that Shigaraki showed at the beginning, and of course everything then later on that Midoriya said. But I should have noticed that because one of the villains, this muscular villain, said so, said, do you know Bakugo? But I was so distracted by the fight. The fight took everything from my mind. Every single fiber of my mind was just concentrated on the emotional battle that we saw. So that's why until now I noticed that, well, yeah, Bakugo was the main target of these villains. Okay. So yes, this is an interesting set of information because I really kind of speculate a lot. Why do they want Bakugo? Why Bakugo? Why not Midoriya? And my guess is this is not an order from All for One. This is a Shigaraki order. And yes, again, this is mere speculation, and this just is based on what Shigaraki said. He said that we need to break, or to try to break in the Hero Society. We need to make cracks in Hero Society. I think those were his exact words. We need to make cracks in Hero Society. And of course, something that he said later, because this is not oppressive just for us, but for somebody else. And that is when the moment that they show Bakugo's image. And especially the image they show of Bakugo was when he was tied up in the podium of the sports festival, when he was angry because he wasn't satisfied with his victory. He wanted to go all out against Todoroki, but of course Todoroki had some emotional moments and he wasn't ready for that. That tells me that they want Bakugo because they believe he has the potential to become a villain. And that is what they want. They want a villain. And what better than to use a previous hero or a potential hero and change it? This will create a lot of chaos because they say, okay, potential heroes actually have the potential, again, to become villains. I hope the show doesn't go to that direction. I hope, because yes, everything is pointing towards that. In the last exam, they say Hopefully this won't happen because they were fearing that Bakugo will become villain. Vest Genius was trying to prevent that specifically because he didn't train Bakugo's quirk. He tried to tame him. So yeah, everybody is saying that perhaps Bakugo really is a villain and we need to do something to stop him to become a villain. And yes, even now the League of Villains is trying to capture him or recruit him, I don't know how to say it, to trying to make him into a villain. So yes, I hope that the show doesn't take that trope, that Bakugo becomes this new villain and this is going to be the principal antagonist of the series, because that is not something I will enjoy, to be honest. I find that kind of conflicting because, yes, again, speaking about another anime, Naruto. Naruto is an anime who did this trope with Sasuke. They make him a villain, and to be honest, I hated Sasuke. I hate Sasuke. I really dislike him. I never like him as a character. Not before and not after he defeated Itachi. I think Itachi is more of a tragic hero, or a tragic victim of circumstances. But and I guess that's the intent they had with Sasuke, but he just became a brat and annoying, in my opinion. Perhaps I'm completely wrong, perhaps he's one of the best characters in anime history. But in my opinion, it was terrible. I really disliked Sasuke all the time. One of the major reasons I stopped watching Naruto was, well, one of the fillers, of course, and Sasuke himself. When they turn around and say, okay, we're going to give Sasuke his own arc, I really disliked that arc. I was I don't know, I hated that moment. And that's why I started to stop watching Naruto back in the day. But yes, I hope this show doesn't go that route. I really, really hope so. And so far, My Hero Academia has been defying said tropes in anime. It doesn't follow them exactly as you expected. So yeah, my mind is telling me he's going to become a villain. Hopefully it's not going to be the case. Hopefully, because I will really hate that. I will really hate Bakugo back then. It will rekindle my hatred towards Bakugo. So yeah, hopefully this is just my mere speculation and nothing is going to happen. Bakugo is just going to be normal hero or something like that. But yeah, hopefully that is not the case. Anyway, going back to the episode. And yes, when we saw, of course, these villains fighting against two of the Pussycats, it was a pretty neat fight. Thankfully, Midorya break the freaking sword made of other swords, which is ridiculous, I know. And went and delivered the message. The message was, of course, delivered to the rest of the students, and they were free to attack. But in that moment, they noticed something. One of the villains noticed something that he defeated because he knew more stuff. Then he came into contact with somebody else, with one of them, because now he knew exactly what they were after. So yes, the rubble, and he connected, of course, the dots. He just must defeat the muscle guy. I really don't remember the name, but he defeated the muscle guy, and he became, okay, we need to kill this guy, because then this kid is a lot more powerful than we believe. Because yeah, that guy is incredibly strong, and he was defeated by this kid. Can you imagine in the future? That is my guess, that he was in this process of the mind, said, okay, we need to kill him now that he's weak. But of course, the Stain fanboy, this little lizard, was not allowing that, because he doesn't care about Shigaraki, or at least not that much. He cares about, of course, the will of Stain. And he said, okay, no, we cannot kill him because Stain said that he is true hero. He recognized as a true hero, and of course we need to preserve him because he's a true hero, etc., etc., etc. And that was enough distractions for them to be beaten by the other two Pussycats. But of course, Midoriya didn't want to return to camp. He wanted to rescue Bakugo because, we like it or not, he is his friend. Later on, we saw where Bakugo is, fighting alongside of Todoroki with Boldo. I don't care what is his name. For me, he's going to be Boldo, because every single aspect of him reminds me of Boldo. And his quirk comes from his teeth. I don't know if I should call him disgusting or neat quirk. To be honest, I'm in the edge on that moment. So yes, we saw a small fight. Of course, Bakugo wants to go all front, even if he was warned that he should not enter into combat because something else. But they are after him. He doesn't care. Of course, it's Bakugo. And of course, Todoroki is just backing him up because they are trying to rescue somebody else. I didn't notice who that was. I wasn't paying attention to that moment. I was thinking something else. Okay, let me check that moment for me. Please. Okay, now I see why I didn't pay attention to the guy. I think it's the same guy who can frozen or solidify air. Yeah. Going back to the episode, of course, everything is happening very, very fast. And, of course, we saw something I was so eager to see. We saw how at least some of the members of Class 1B defend themselves. Hell, not even defending themselves. They were attacking a villain. The guy who can create gas was attacked by these two guys, and it was a pretty intense fight because the gas guy had all the advantage. He just not is able to, well, he's not just able to control the gas, he can sense anybody who entered this atmosphere. So yeah, he has a huge advantage. Of course, he's not a combat, that's why he brought a gun. And again, this is something odd for me. I haven't seen a gun in this animation, especially not even being fired. So yeah, that was a complete oddity for me. And yes, he was saying, oh yes, he's just a simple mentality. You are nothing compared to me, I am so great. But of course, he never counted the way the quirks are being used. Because yes, he said that Kendo's quirk was weak. But he said, no, it depends on how you use it. And yes, it was brilliant. Thanks to the huge amount of surface on her hands, she can just blow away the gas. And that helps him, or helps them, to defeat this villain. And I love, because yes, Tetsu was being humiliated by this villain. He said, oh, you're just weak, you're just an idiot. Simple mentality, you're just, all that. Humiliate him, even. But in the moment that Tetsu could act, I love that retribution that the villain gets with this huge punch in the face, just break the mask and break his face. So yeah, he was pretty weak. A neat quirk, but pretty weak himself. So yeah, I love that punch and even just grabs him to the ground. I love that moment. It's really exciting. Yes! We saw finally Class 1B, or at least some of the Class 1B, shine as they should. So yeah, I'm just so pumped for that moment. Yeah, the episode, of course, ends when Shoji, if I'm not mistaken, grabs Midorya. And of course, we need to... I thought it was a villain first, the Black Hand. It was a villain. But then I noticed that it's exactly like Dark Shadow's claw. But of course, in that moment, I didn't relate those things. I said, okay, but we need to deal with this first. And then, of course, we knew that Dark Shadow was a lot more powerful in the night. But in this moment, he is uncontrollable. Tokoyami is trying to restrain Dark Shadow. He somehow has been losing that battle from what I saw in those last few seconds. So yeah, I don't know what is a trigger here, because my assumption is that he doesn't pull out Dark Shadow in the dark, not even at night, because he's so uncontrollable. But of course, this is a lot more dangerous because you need to be able to control Dark Shadow in any circumstances. Of course, he's a teenager, and that is what he should be doing in this camp. And yeah, that is the last moment of the episode, in which we saw that one of the enemies is one of them now. one of them because, yeah, Dark Shadow is completely out of control. And now, speaking about specific moments in the animation, of course, the hand. I think the hand was Shoji's hand. Perhaps it's not such a big loss because perhaps he can grow it back thanks to his quirk, but still, it must be painful for him to be lost, to be without a hand, or when the moment he was cut. So yeah, that kind of make me relax a little bit. What worries me is that we still haven't seen the fourth pussycat, Ragdoll, if I'm not mistaken. We haven't seen her, which worries me. We don't know her fate so far. We know all of them. We know where all of them are. Two of them are fighting, one is unconscious. Most of the students, well, four students ran away to the camp. The other one were studying inside the camp, so they are safe with another hero, with another professional hero. And they are not the target, of course. We know where Todoroki, Bakugo, and the solidification guy is. We know where Momo and some other of the Class 1B are because we saw them briefly in the when they were born, or when they permitted to use their quirks, etc. But we don't know where she is. And another point I want to address. In one of those small scenes, we saw now that Toga is out. And Uraraka and Tsuyu are fighting against her. She has a knife out. That is what I saw in that brief moment, which makes her dangerous. I don't know her quirk exactly. What is her deal there? What should be worrying about her? So yes, that is something that worries me because yes, Toga seems to be a very dangerous villain alongside with Dabi. Those are the ones who worries me the most. And we haven't seen them in action, really not completely, because it wasn't Dabi, it was just his clone. So yeah, what is the deal there? How are they going to be acting later on? How are they going to grab Bakugo? Because I don't think Bakugo is going to go out without a fight. So yes, that intrigues me. And I really want to see the next episode. Unfortunately, it's not out yet. And yes, I just got caught up with the episode. This is the 5th episode. And I know this is going to be a little bit later, of course. By the moment this is out, the episode 6 is going to be out. But yeah, I finally caught the episodes of the 3rd season. Now I need to wait patiently for the next one. So yeah, I think that's it for now. The only thing I have to say is thank you guys for your comments, for your views, for your likes, and for your subscriptions. If you want to be a subscriber, please click on the subscription button and on the bell so you can get notifications. And if you want to follow me on Twitter, the link is in the description below. So yeah, I have nothing else to say, guys. So thank you so much and see you on the next one. Bye.